We got Michael Carter II getting re-signed, 3 years, $33 million. It's $30.75 million, up to $33 million, with slightly over $19 million in guaranteed money. He's now the highest paid slot corner in the NFL, and he deserves it. This is a guy who came to work. He came and did his thing, showed up in training camp, got hurt in training camp, still participated, and wound up getting rewarded by Joe Douglas. This is exactly how you send a message to Haason Reddick. I think this is exactly how you send a message to the rest of the locker room, because you got a bunch of really good players coming down the pike in Sauce, Garrett, JJ, Brees, AVT, that are going to be looking for contracts as well. And when guys start thinking, hey, I'm going to hold out, I'm going to get me my money, well, guess what? You act like Michael Carter II, you get paid like Michael Carter II. I love it. Joe Douglas hit this out of the park. Green Bean, I want to hear your thoughts first.
Well, I love the way that you just said it, too. I think that's the message, right? So here we are dancing around with somebody who's never played a single snap for the New York Jets. Now, I don't know what'll happen, right? We cleared some money today, and we'll get to all that, I'm sure. I don't know what'll happen, but as it stands today, you got a guy who's a late-round pick, who's done nothing but work his ass off, play hard, and excel at his position, among the best slot corners in the NFL, nickel corners in the NFL. And the Jets showed, if that's how you act, like there's all this stuff, oh, the team's in disarray, agents hate them and blah. And we know where that shit comes from. It's from the agent that is having a problem with the Jets. We saw it with Marcus May, all this stuff that they say about the Jets, not being a good team to work with and all that. On the other end of it, the Jets send just a very loud and clear message. Look, all the noise aside, you stay here, you do your job, you work as hard as you can, you perform on the field, and you get rewarded. It's now happened with Quinnen Williams, it's happened with Quincy Williams, and it's now happened with Michael Carter II. And I think, look, we all talked about it in the offseason, DJ Reed, Michael Carter, the whole thing. I don't know what'll happen with DJ Reed, but if I had to pick one to lock up, like if I could only do one, this was the guy that I wanted to see them do. And the fact that they did it today, when it just so happens that we were expecting, at least from a fan perspective, Haason Reddick to show up at camp today, he didn't. And the Jets turn around and reward one of their own. I think it's an amazing thing to do. I think it's the right thing to do, and I applaud the New York Jets and Joe Douglas for getting it done.
Matt, your thoughts on the Michael Carter II extension?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, this was a guy who was taken as a late day 3 guy just a few years ago, and he had to start right away, and he played well out of the gate. But I thought last year was when he took his game really to another level and established himself as one of the top 3, at worst third, but you can make a case that he's the best slot corner in the NFL. I think it's fair market value. It resets the market, but not by like a 5 million AAV mark. Take notes, Mike McCagnon, on that. Mike the second gets paid fairly at 11 million AAV, right around where I was expecting it to be, 10 or 11 million bucks for him. I mean, you look at his numbers last year, it was really impressive. He allowed a reception on just 56.1% of his targets, 258 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 pass breakups, and a 73.6 passer rating when targeted. Really impressive numbers. And the slot's one of the toughest positions to play in the NFL. Like corner in particular is really hard, but I think slot corner is that much more challenging. And he does a really great job of it. So he absolutely deserved it. And I'm happy for both him and the New York Jets that they got this done.
I think it's just absolutely awesome. Not to mention, I mean, it is the hardest corner position to play, I think. Like, even though you're probably not going up against the number 1 receiver, there's so many different route combinations that could pop through from the slot. And as you start to see more and more, I guess you do start to see more and more receivers kind of maneuver into the slot. They're not always on the outside trying to get free releases and whatnot. So Michael Carter, it is a little silly to think that $11 million is actually the peak right now for that particular position. One thing we did see come up, the Jets restructured Quincy Williams and Tyler Conklin, creating $8 million in salary cap space. And when I initially saw that, I'm thinking, this is for Haason Reddick. They're going to get something done right now. And then lo and behold, Michael Carter II news drops like 5 minutes later, if that. And then you also got to think too, whatever the deal was, I don't know if we saw what the signing bonus was for Michael Carter II. So that would probably be the only elevation in his salary cap hit for this year. But all that money's coming in as an extension beyond the 2024 campaign. So that $8 million, aside from maybe like a little bit of it going towards Michael Carter's signing bonus, it's opening up salary cap space for the Jets to play with. So is it going to go towards someone like a Hassan Reddick, or is it going to another move, maybe potentially a Devontae Adams or something along those lines?
What's up, guys? Matt O'Leary from Talkin' Jets. If you liked that video, please make sure to subscribe and follow for more New York Jets content.